700 years before Yeshua was born, Isaiah the Hebrew prophet spoke of one who would come and suffer for the Jewish people. In part 2, we explained why the suffering servant could not be the Jewish nation as a whole, suffering for the world. In part 3, I would like to show you why it must be the Messiah. Hi, I'm Ron Cantor of Tiferet Yeshua Congregation in Tel Aviv. I've got a free book waiting for you if you'll just stick around to the end. Honestly, all one needs to do is read the prophecy to see that it speaks of Jesus, Yeshua. Let's take a look starting in verse 3. He was despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows and familiar with suffering. Like one from whom men hide their faces, he was despised, and we esteemed him not. Yeshua was rejected by our people. Yes, tens of thousands of Jewish people did follow him, but the religious leaders and the majority of Israelites rejected him. But he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was upon him, and by his wounds we are healed. Yeshua was literally pierced as he hung on the cross. How much clearer could it be? He was oppressed and afflicted, yet he did not open up his mouth. He was led like a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearers is silent, so he did not open his mouth. Although he could have defended himself, he willingly laid down his life. Not once did he try to get out of his death sentence. He was assigned a grave with the wicked. Crucifixion was the way a common criminal was killed. And with the rich in his death. Joseph of Arimathea was a wealthy man and a Pharisee who petitioned Pilate for Yeshua's body, which he buried in his own tomb. He will see his offspring. Over 1 billion people now claim to follow this Jewish man and prolong his days. From the suffering of his soul, he will see the light and be satisfied. Yeshua rose from the dead, and over 500 people witnessed it. 10 of his original disciples suffered a martyr's death, believing he rose from the dead. Now, why would someone allow himself to be killed for what they knew was a lie? My righteous servant will justify many. He will bear their iniquities. The New Covenant records that this man was thought to have died as an atonement for the Jewish people. Yeshua's cousin, the prophet John, prophesied when he saw Yeshua, "Look, the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world. Therefore I will give him a portion among the great, and he will divide the spoils with the strong, because he poured out his life unto death and was numbered with the transgressors. For he bore the sin of many and made intercession for the transgressors." And he literally did that. He made intercession on the cross, not only for the thief and the murderer, but everyone who was there to crucify him. In conclusion, if it were not for the fact that Yeshua looks exactly like the man in Isaiah 53, would any scholar conclude that it's not referring to the Messiah? Of course not. Isaiah, 700 years before Yeshua, described in detail this Jewish man portrayed in the New Covenant, Yeshua. It has already been proven by Professor Stephen Stoner that the chances of one man fulfilling just 8 of the over 300 Messianic prophecies that Yeshua fulfilled is 1 times 10 to the 28th power, or just look at the number on the screen. What are the chances that one man would live in Israel, be rejected by the Jewish people, literally pierced? He would allow his persecutors to kill him. He would be buried with the rich and yet die as a common criminal. And I'm leaving out the part about him rising from the dead. Just those 6 things would be nearly impossible unless you were sent by someone to fulfill the prophecy. And Yeshua, Jesus, fulfilled them completely. You decide. I hope this video has been a blessing to you. To get my free ebook, The 15 Most Important Facts About the Israeli Palestinian Conflict, just go to roncan.net/15facts and make sure that the F is capitalized. This video has been brought to you by our congregation, Tiferet Yeshua, right here in Tel Aviv. For more information, please go to reachtelaviv.org. And while you're there, consider making a generous donation so that we can continue to share the good news of Yeshua with Israelis and bring you more of these weekly videos. Now, don't forget to subscribe. Shalom from Tel Aviv.